Okay. Well, it's live.
Hey, dude, we need to come up with a like a team name, like a team name when we do this, or a podcast name.
That is true.
Not like Starsky and Hutch though, like something.
That is.
We'll figure it out as we go along.
Eventually, that's the
Is
first
my
one.
mic too loud or
No, it's fine. Your mic is fine.
that's cool?
I think it's mine because I'm trying to I don't know if you can see it, but I was trying to use this to connect it, but it wasn't picking it up because I turned it off. So I was like, whatever.
Oh,
I
for
just
sure.
disconnected. Yeah.
Well, let's just jump into it, man.
But yeah.
What'd you think?
Well, like I put in the titles, Valencia, they lost exactly as they won, 2-1.
Yeah,
which is very sweet because they need to. I feel they needed that kind of scoreline to burn that one in their memories.
yeah,
But
and
yeah, keep
it's
going.
also funny because it doesn't matter how shitty these teams are playing. When they play against us, all of a sudden they play like their life is on the line, dude.
Yeah, exact same thing with Malaga. They will be straight up garbage with just about the whole of La Liga. But when they come around, playing us, all of a sudden, Penny is looking like newer, and his back line looks like they have Nesta and all those guys back there. I'm like, but you guys just got destroyed by Celta a couple of days ago. Why are you playing so?
Seriously.
I
But
don't know
what do you think, man? You think after we lost to Barcelona in a row. You think we're over it, or does it still kind of hurt?
That's a good question. I think, in my
Oh, I came
opinion,
prepared, dog.
yeah, we just need Barca to lose 1 or 2 games. For
Yeah,
2 games, that'd be safer.
but I just feel like at the end of the day, even if we win La Liga, that's the kind of loss that doesn't leave our minds. That Barca tie. Even if we end up winning the league, that's gonna sit in the back of my mind because you know how these fucking Kool-Aids can be, man, and they're gonna, it's that shit that never stops, that beef that never ends, man. The draw would have been fine. I still think about that game though, even when we're watching these games, not
Yeah,
just because there's a lot on the line, but how do you feel, man? Are you over it? Are you good? Are you good with the result? Are you done with that Barca game?
I'm right now. I'm not because I'm still replaying how Marcelo should have taken down Sturgy as he was going up the pitch, but instead backed off, and that is still replaying in my mind. I'm like, come on, coach, you could have taken that technical yellow, man, and
Yeah, just fuck it, man.
we
Take it.
yeah, take it, and we'd be 1-1. I don't know. I guess, but I'm happy though that they actually tried to go for a third goal because usually Zidane once it's 2-1, park the bus, call it a day. That's it. But I like that, even though it was kind of dangerous, and I'm still not over it though, and I probably won't be until we win La Liga, because if we keep on, taking the lead and then blowing it around the 80th minute, which has become a trend, and then we don't win La Liga, then like you said, the Kool-Aids they're just gonna keep running their mouths all year long, and we need to have something to say. Yes, you beat us, but you won the battle. We won the war. We have the trophy. Let's
Right,
go.
right.
Shut up. What do you think, man?
No, well, I agree, man. Like I said, it's more about it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to make it to the end. Last season they were ahead in the league, and once we had Zidane as a coach and we beat them in their fucking house, they ended up winning the league, but that was still a sweet victory for us. It's like you said, if we come away with nothing, then we're fucked. But lifting at least one of these trophies, it'll make me feel better. When we saw the lineup, I came
Yeah,
into it kind of like 10 minutes late. The team was already playing. Were you
yeah.
surprised with the lineup?
Yeah, because I thought Danilo was gonna play on the left. Yeah, seeing as some of the ones that I saw on Twitter had him as a left
Glad
back.
he didn't, though. I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, because if he did, then I don't know if that Marcelo goal would have happened or if someone would have done
Right,
it. But
right.
yeah, I was actually surprised to see James. I keep thinking Zidane is going to consistently play Isco because he is right now our most informed player. But Zidane
Hell yeah.
knows the surprise and just Like, you know, he puts James in, and I'm like, huh? What is going on? But I ain't gonna say that. I was surprised though. You?
What'd you think about James's game?
He was alright, man. He was way better against Sporting versus today. I guess because Valencia, they were also ganging up on our players and closing down space.
Yeah.
And Sporting was much more back and forth, even though we were doing the same thing to him. But James wasn't really as influential as he can be. Probably because, once again, he's playing as a central midfielder, and he is not. Lottie did it in his first season, but James, that role is not him. He needs to be a number 10 or something. Jeez.
Well, I think when Ancelotti did it, I think Ancelotti had Cruz and Modric as the central pivots and James playing above, Casemiro as the defensive midfielder, and Cruz and Modric play ahead. So they kind of like spread out. You know, it's tricky, but like you said, Ancelotti figured out a way to make it work. Do you think that, because we didn't see Isco at all, dude. We didn't see him for shit. Well, we saw him on the bench.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't even warm up, though. Does this kind of like confirm that he's starting against Atletico on Tuesday?
I hope so. Because, you know, Zidane has been on and off. He didn't play him in the Clasico, but he played him in the next match, and he didn't play him in this one. So I'm praying and hoping that he does get Isco in the lineup because, you know, Bale is out, so there's and James is the least likely to get put in. If James plays, I'm gonna be confused on our channel. Yeah.
No. Yeah, definitely. But like, I like the idea now where Bale is injured. I'm all for this idea of if Isco plays one game, let James play the other. If they're not going to play in the same game, I like to see them both together. Though, do you think there's a possibility that next season we keep them both?
I highly doubt that, because if we have to keep them both, that means we have to ship off either one of Cruz, Modric, or both of them. Or if Perez, you know,
not going to happen.
Yeah, if Perez decides to do his thing, we might see Casemiro getting sold just so we can have an all-out, flashy, nice to look at midfield with James and all of them in there, and that is going to be detrimental to our already suffering alien defense. So,
yeah.
I think, you know, from the reports, Isco is more likely to stay, even though I want to keep James open because he's very direct. When he gets on, you know, he's going straight to goal. Isco is great, don't get me wrong, but he tends to, you know, just dance around the bush before he gets at it. But I think Isco is most likely to stay. James is heading off.
Well, what do you think are the chances of next season Isco and Modric kind of rotating their role, Bale or Benzema leaving and making room for James? Do you see one of the BBC leaving next season?
Next season?
Or 2 or 3. I wouldn't mind selling Bale and Benzema at this point. I love Bale. Don't get me wrong. I have a Bale jersey. It's not this one, but we got rid of Arjen Robben, who was a motherfucking savage at the time because he was too injury prone. Bale's been injured a lot, man. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault. But at this point, we didn't have the squad back then that we do now, where we have so many options. You know, it's a waste of a starting 11 spot, you know, to save it for whenever Bale is ready.
Yeah. Honestly, speaking of, I, in my opinion, I think it's time we move on from Benzema because he is only consistent at being lukewarm. Today is hot, tomorrow he's cold, tomorrow he's not even. It's like, you know, we're playing with 10 men. So honestly, I wouldn't mind if he got pushed out, even though it's looking more likely. Morata is likely to, which would be freaking stupid. Even though he, again, he is kind of, in my opinion, like Benzema 2.0, who's also clumsy on his chances, technically gifted, clumsy on
I
his
understand.
Can be inconsistent, but I wouldn't mind Benzema going just because Morata is young. And if somebody comes in with 60 million or 70 million offer for Bale, take it and run, man. Take it and run too. Jeez. And
I feel if we sell Benz, I feel like that's gonna force Cristiano to kind of take that center striker role, which isn't a horrible idea, but at the same time, I feel like that throws Morata out. You know, and like you said, getting rid of Morata or losing Morata would be a big blow for us, dude. I mean, I sure as shit don't want to lose him.
I mean,
but I understand if he leaves.
yeah. I mean, not unless they change to a 4-4-2 with Ronaldo and Morata up top, and then if Bill and Benzema goes, and then we use a 4-4-2, and then we'd have like maybe Vasquez as the primarily right midfielder or right winger. Yeah, that could definitely work. Although that is also gonna mess up midfield of Cass, Modric, and Cruz. And yeah, it's just it's complicated, but that could work though. A 4-4-2 with Morata and Ronaldo up top. Even though,
is it safe to say that no matter what happens next season, Casemiro stays in the lineup, given how important he is to our defense?
I have actually. I think he's going to stay. Because I think he's going to stay, and also Marcus Llorente is doing very, very good at Alaves. I think he's also gonna come back and be rotated with Casemiro, seeing as he is the only DM, and with Llorente, we will now have two. So that would be great. That's.
But awesome. What does that do? What does that do to Kovacic and Isco? If Llorente comes back.
I mean, they play different positions, so that's not. I don't think that's gonna be of any issue to Isco. Seeing as Llorente is a DM and Isco was like more CM box to box. So even though for Isco to get in the starting lineup, I think Bill or Benz, James, either one or all three of them has to go. That way Isco can be, and I think he should be our main left winger, because Ronaldo, he can't, at this point, at the age of 32, he cannot beat it now.
Yeah.
The pain to watch. He's much better in the center than trying to run down at some wide. That's not going to.
And on the topic of Ronaldo, do you think that this kind of rotation system where we don't see Ronaldo every week, do you think that's going to be a common trend going forward?
Yes.
Because I like it, man. I like it.
I like it too. Yeah, that's good. It also helps Ronaldo, because if you've noticed the past 2-3 seasons where he's played like every single game towards the end, like April, May, he picks up some just crazy injury, and then he's out for 2 weeks, and then by the time he comes back, he's not always 100% because of the injury, and we have had to struggle through 2 Champions League finals. He has not been impressive in any of them, even though the first one he was setting up Bale, but other than that, he was gone for most of the match, seeing as his injuries, his shots were weak, everything. But yeah, this rotation policy is good for him. He's not gonna.
I also think.
Yeah. What do you?
No. Oh, I also think that it kind of makes him hungrier. You know, like we saw him today. You actually called out during the match how frustrated he looked with Benzema in the beginning of the game. It looked like he was constantly going for goal. And you know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe him not playing games gonna make him come out like a savage and pursue those goals even more. You know.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because it also helps with his fitness. He will have more energy to be more proactive, rather than just laying 30 yards away from the opposition's defense line and jogging or strolling back. So yes, this rotation policy is good for him. He's not going to be putting up 50 goals though, but
no. But at the end of the day, man, 30-20 is good for him. I mean, not good for him personally, but as long as he's on the score sheet, dude, he's already a stud for us, man.
He has, but my thing is this season, I think he could be on 50 goals even right now. If you think of the numerous clear-cut chances he has thrown straight at the bar and away. I still cannot forget the one from the Clasico where Asensio put him through. He was just leaning the opposite way and toted it. I was like, no.
Yeah, no, that one was fucking brutal, man. And Asensio, I like that he plays all over the place. When he's on, dude, he's on all sides of the pitch. He's all over the fucking place. Hey, dude, what do you think about the remainder of the season, man? You think we're still at a point where we can win both trophies, or you think we're at a point where we might have to pick one or the other? Not pick, but where both are kind of out of reach.
We can still win.
Do you think we can still win?
Yeah, we can still win both trophies, even with Bill out. Seeing as he's not that. His presence will not be missed at all. We have players who
You're
can
right.
fill in his spot. But yes, we can still win both trophies. My only thing now is like, I hate to say this, but we just have to wait for Barca to slip up, either a draw or a loss. That'll be the thing that will instill more confidence in the fans and also the players. Barca,
Right, because systematically speaking, if we win all the games, we win La Liga, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but that's still like you've been saying too. That's a final every fucking week, man. Twice a week. That's a fucking final every 3 or 4 days, man.
And especially seeing our front line throw away so many chances, I get less and less confident when we can only score one goal from like 500 chances. It's like, are we gonna?
Hey, keep it real though. If you had to pick one, La Liga or the Champions, what would it be?
Champions League, man. Champions. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd be the first team ever in this edition of the UEFA Champions League to win it back to back, and it will also it would also open up more doors for trophies, the UEFA Super Cup and the Club World Cup. Whereas if we win La Liga, we only have the Spanish Super Cup to play for, and then it would also look good too on the number scale.
Yeah.
We won 8 trophies the last 3 years. It's great.
I feel like us being so close to winning La Liga, I feel like if we didn't win it this season, like when are we gonna fucking win it? Because this season we've been in first place for the longest. Up until last week, we've been in first place for practically the whole season. And that hasn't happened since I think we've won La Liga. So I think for us to not win it now because of that Barca game, it almost makes my confidence kind of feel like, are we ever going to win it again, or what's it going to take for us to win it? Because that whole there's always next year, doesn't really fly for a team like ours,
It doesn't fly for the team or for the fans, because honestly, this team deserves at least, like, come on, they have the potential to win La Liga. They just need the consistency. Right now, everyone is bringing the consistency, barring the players that are always injured, and you can't fault them. But yeah, it takes that consistency to win La Liga. Because under Mourinho, we won La Liga with a 9-point gap from Barca, which means we could have lost 3 games straight. We'd still win.
And still fucking won.
Yeah,
hell no, man.
They had consistency right from day one all the way to the end. Even though we were put out of the Champions League, even though I think we got put out of the Copa del Rey, I think that same season, but we still won La Liga with 9 points. So this team needs that consistency. They're in the final stretch. I mean, this is not the time for anyone to be feeling tired or whatsoever. If so, I don't know what they've been doing the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we need consistency.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, brother, I'm gonna go. Okay, I have to take off.
All right, man. Thanks, man.
No, let me know how this goes, and maybe we can try it again next weekend. Yeah.
Of course, man. Yeah.
Making an everyday team. All right, dude. Later.